Okay, today we are playing a game on King's Row. We are in the Silver SR range, and we will be playing Mercy the entire way through. We are also on the console today, by the way. Consider yourself forewarned, the PS4 it looks like. Our current team composition is Reinhardt, Zarya, Soldier 76, Tracer, Mercy, and Bridget. So it's really boring, and there isn't much to say about it. Other than, first off, we don't have a... well, first off, this is the only thing I'm going to say. We don't have a Hanzo on our team. Not having a Hanzo in this day and age is a very sad business, honestly. Especially when you got a Zarya on your team. Come on. It writes itself. By the way, if you're wondering why I'm yelling at you from the other side of the room, basically, it's because the unthinkable has happened. There's a spider in the room. Like, yay big, no exaggeration. And, comes out, skitters across the desk, and I'm like, oh, fuck. Within 0.5 seconds, I'm on the other side of the room. I'm hanging off that light fixture over there, like, oh, God, that's the rest of my week gone right there. So, now, obviously, I'm staying as far away from every piece of furniture in my room as possible, lest the multi-legged menace just be lying in wait to strike as when I least expect it. So, basically, this is gonna be my life for the next, like, 3 weeks, you know. Can't kill a spider. Don't like to kill spiders. I'll kill a fly. Fuck flies. They're annoying bastards. Can't kill a spider for some reason. So now instead I'm just going to live in complete fear of the spider for the next 3 weeks. As you do. You know how it is, I'm sure. Unless you're one of those freaks that like spiders. In which case you are a freak, by the way. Natural selection's going to get you sooner or later. So let's start the video. So we've got to attack King's Row first. We've learned that they have a Symmetra. And I think I heard Bastion? Yeah, there's a Bastion up there as well, on the balcony right now. So that's how you know this is Silver SR on the console. This is a very unique cursor, by the way. I've never seen one like this before. We're playing Mercy, so, like, who cares what our cursor is, frankly, but it's a very unique one, certainly. I remember the most unique cursor I've ever seen in my life was, like, it was bigger than this. It was like a solid square right in the middle of the screen, but it had a little gap in the middle of it. A little hole right in the center. So, presumably, the thought process was, when you see something in the circle, that's when you shoot at it. It was very weird. This weird inverse cursor he had set up. It was strange. We're good. So, anyway, so we're playing Mercy. We have very little in the way of ability to make our team move forward. Reinhardt has killed Bastion because Bastion was doing shit he wasn't allowed to do. So he's dead now. Thank goodness. Bridget decided that she wanted to die, and she ran straight through the gate into all of the turrets. We couldn't realistically res her where she was. And also, like, it's King's Row, so, like, she's right there. Anyway, you know, resing somebody on the first checkpoint on King's Row is not the most impactful res you'll ever make in your life. So we don't have great people to damage boost on our team, really. The best we got is Soldier, and Soldier's gone out of the way right now. Reinhardt's decided he doesn't want to live anymore, and this is a difficult situation right now. So he disappears out of the way. Zarya keeps going around the corner, so we can't get to her easily, but we get to her before she dies. We're going to try and res Reinhardt. We have actually moved too far away and cancelled the res right there, which is unfortunate, I think. We didn't get stunned, right? Nothing was here to stun us. No, I think we moved out of range. Doesn't matter, we've already won the fight. Hooray. There wasn't really anything there that could kill us during the res. I mean, Orisa was there, but, like, Silver, SR, Orisa, our whole team's there. It's probably going to be fine. So we captured the first checkpoint. We didn't really have to do very much about it, even though several of our teammates decided they didn't want to live anymore. We still managed to capture it. So that's great. Everything's going great. So we're playing Mercy, you know. There's a lot of, there's periods of time where you're just kind of filling space, really. We've been healing people at full health right there, which was not good. Healing somebody at full health again. No, don't be doing that. A person's full health, don't be healing people at full health. There's just no point healing somebody at full health. If you're healing somebody who's at full health, that's the same as you having no beam tethered to anybody at all. It's hard to carry as a support in general, particularly for Mercy. It was just a fly. I saw something move, and I was afraid that there was going to be a facehugger on me. It's okay, that didn't happen. As you can probably tell by the fact I'm not dead, for one thing. What was I saying? It's hard to carry in general as a support. Mercy in particular, because she doesn't get to interact directly with the fight, right? At least not usually. So it's just about being really efficient with your resources. So you don't want to ever be like healing people at full health, because that's just the same as you not having a beam turned on. Similar concept for Lucia. If you're healing somebody, it's healing people who are at full health. That's just the same as you not having an aura turned on. So it's better to be in the speed boost, almost touch the computer. Oh god, what if the spider's lurking on it, ready to strike? So, you know, we've decided to use Valkyrie. There's, like, not much reason, honestly. That's a very unique teleporter position. I don't think I've ever seen that one before, right there. And now we're gonna break it. That's fair enough, honestly. You might as well break the turrets. I like how neatly lined up they are. I'm gonna risk touching the mouse to draw a line. Look at that. Neatly in a row. I'd might as well just break those as well, honestly. Because they're gonna tether to you at some point during this, probably, and that's just inconvenient. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, see, we could have avoided all of this damage. And bearing in mind that they did damage to us after we broke the teleporter, which means the Symmetra actually just got ult charge off of that. So, we didn't really need to use Valkyrie during that team fight, really, because, like, we were winning so handedly. It didn't really look like Valkyrie was going to be necessary, and it kind of wasn't. If Reinhardt's going to charge in, it is often worth it to just damage boost the Reinhardt while he's charging, because the beam is this way where it keeps working for a deceptively long time when somebody's out of range, so the Reinhardt, when he pins somebody against the wall, if you're damage boosting it, that's a lot of extra damage right there, so it's often worth just, like, damage boosting the Reinhardt when he's charging him. Or, you know, he might take a bunch of damage as well while he's going in. You can heal that, I guess, but, like, yeah, it's just Reinhardt's... Hopefully he's gonna pin something, right? So we want that to do more damage. So we've just heard fire in the hole. You didn't hear fire in the hole. I heard fire in the hole, so that's scary. Don't, like, we did cancel it. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say don't go all the way up to him, but we did cancel the GA. As soon as you hear something like that, like fire, we just heard fire in the hole, just break the tether immediately. You don't want any evidence of where you are anymore. Oh god, I touched something. You don't want any evidence of where you are anymore. As soon as you hear really scary ultimates, just break the tether and hide. I melee attack to break the tether. You can switch weapons and stuff like that as well, or you know, depending on your settings. So, you know, things are going well. Our team have just kind of been dealing with it, which is great. It's very convenient. We haven't had to do very much so far this game. Yeah, we've been healing people, and we've been damage boosting people. And that's all we had to do. Look at that. Easy money. Easy money. We've used GA, we've used Guardian... Well, I'm fucking stupid. Holy shit, am I having a stroke? We're using Valkyrie right now. And we might as well, because we want this to be the last fight, so we might as well just pop it in the fight so we can start tethering to everybody. Who died in here? Why do we not have res? Who did we just res? We just res Zarya? Fair enough. You know, it would be better to res Tracer, honestly. This is just like a thing with Zarya, is that she's usually a pretty weak res if she doesn't have Graviton, because Zarya gets resed with 0 charge, and she needs charge to actually, like, be a hero in the game. So, you know, if we knew somebody else was gonna die, they'd be better person to res, but we're not clairvoyant, so, unfortunately. So this is just how life is going to be for a little while now. We can be standing further back than this. The beam has a pretty long range, and we're walking into some of these people that we're tethered to right now, while they're fighting people directly adjacent to them. The beam's distance is actually 15 meters, which is quite long, so we want to be as far away from people as possible, usually, because, you know, we're playing a support. No support really wants to be close to the enemy team, except Bridget, but she's actually a tank, so she doesn't count. And if you tell me that she's actually a healer, I'm going to call you a liar. She's actually a tank. We say it's the triple healer, the triple support lineup, to assuage the stupid people on ladder. Is actually still, like, we actually have 2 or 3 tanks still. It's just... She's in the support category, so obviously she's a support, you know? Even though she's a tank, actually. So now we're defending King's Row. And you'll notice that this section of the video is pretty short. We ain't playing multiple rounds on this map. So, we're sitting up here with Soldier. We're sitting out of line of sight. Cool stuff. I would like if we were looking behind us a little bit as well, because there's Mercy's this way. You don't need to be looking at the person that you're tethered to. Oh god, I touched something. You don't need to be tethered to the person, looking at the person you're tethered to. So you can, like, look around as much as possible. You can't, looking around on the console is a bit more of an ordeal than looking around on the PC, but you don't need to be looking at the person you're tethered to. And there's a route behind you, or behind us. I don't like saying you. Saying you sounds accusatory, doesn't it? You did this, you did that. It sounds much less accusatory. We should be looking behind us while we're hanging out up here with Soldier, because very common for somebody to go through the window on the left side and then come up behind you right here, or come up this staircase. So we should be, like, looking behind us to make sure we ain't getting crept up on as well. Tracer's all the way over there. Can't help with that. You know, she is way out of the way. So Soldier's getting attacked by D.Va. We're here healing him through it. Easy peasy. She's never gonna kill Soldier unless she's actually a god. He didn't kill Baby D.Va yet, did he? I mean, he should be able to handle Baby D.Va by himself, honestly, but... What do we do? We should be damage boosting him again while he's at full health. Right here, full health, start damage boosting. Like, yeah, he's gonna get shot a bit by Baby D.Va, but again, you don't want to be healing people who are full health. It's just not as efficient as it could be. Here, if you're healing somebody at full health again... Just damage boost them. Even if it isn't somebody that looks like they're likely to do damage. Like, we're tethered to a Bridget right now. So she's not realistically probably going to do much damage, but you're still just better off damage boosting her, because maybe she hits somebody with the whip shot, and the whip shot maybe kills somebody if you have the extra damage boost going. It's just that, you know, it's not doing anything otherwise. We actually almost died. I don't know if you caught it. We actually came very close to dying right here. That's not our Reinhardt. We almost flew right into that pin right there. So, it's, you know, did we see him coming? Tracer's out there fighting. You know, we came very close to dying right there. We managed to avoid dying. It's not, you know, it's not actually that uncommon to GA over to somebody right as you get caught. Right just in time to get caught by the pin. I'll get my friend, my salty Mercy friend to comment on it, because, oh, it happens to her all the time, actually. So again, we're healing somebody at full health, healing somebody at full health. Now we're damage boosting somebody who's not at full health, but also is getting healed by other sources. Heal them to full health, then damage boost them. If they're wounded, like, you know, you want... We're good. I'm listening for something. It's the spider, if you're curious. You never know. You never know when those bastards are just gonna pop out. If somebody's wounded, heal them to full health and then start damage boosting them. There are times where you would still want to keep damage boosting them anyway, but, like, you don't want the person to die. Like, ever, basically. So it's not worth the risk. If somebody's at full health... damage boost him. There you go. Now we're damage boosting him. Now he's taking damage, so now we're gonna heal him. But, like, don't heal people at full health. So we're coming through a very scary location right now, because there's a fight happening over here. And really we want to find somebody to GA to, but nobody's really around to actually GA to, because Torbjorn's out of line of sight and nobody's over there. So... a lot of surviving as Mercy is just kind of like bouncing between people during the fight, but if you can't actually see anybody, healing somebody at full health again, we're doing it. If there's nobody around to actually jump to, it makes it a lot harder for you as Mercy. Genji's gonna get beat to death in the alley over there. We're getting close to dying. We can just hang out in this room. Oh, no, never mind. Baby D.Va spotted us, so we had to actually avoid that. I was gonna say, we could hang out in that room, but no, Baby D.Va popped out. So we're gonna use GA. We're gonna use Valkyrie, rather. We're not using GA. There's no reason to use Valkyrie. We've already won the fight. Look up at the kill feed, right? Let's go way back to the start of this, right? Tracer's dead already on the enemy team, so that's 5v6 currently for them. 6v5. Now Genji's dead. Both their DPS are dead. D.Va's lost her mech. D.Va's gonna die. Mercy's also dead. 4 of them are now dead. There's no reason to use GA. We've won the fight. There's 2 people left alive on the enemy team right now. So we don't need to... I think you called it GA again. We didn't need to use Valkyrie right now because there's only 2 people left alive on the enemy team. Tracer's got back, but she died again. There was no need to use Valkyrie. The fight was already over, and you don't want to use ultimates in a fight that you've already won or already lost. And Mercy, she doesn't have a lot of skill testing elements, right? The thing with Mercy is just like... scary resing Torbjorn like this. It's it's very scary to do this because we're standing out in the open. There's nowhere else to stand to try for it. Here comes the tire. He let us live. We've been blessed this day. You know, Mercy doesn't have a lot of skill testing elements. It's all just like awareness, avoiding people, bouncing between people in a fight to avoid dying, you know, and dying and getting killed is what I was about to say, which is a wonderful sentence to say. Damage boosting and healing people efficiently. There's target priority as well, but there isn't much to talk about that in this game, honestly, the way things have been going. And using Valkyrie, and you just don't want to use your ultimate in a fight that you've definitely already won or definitely already lost. Damage healing somebody at full health again. Tracer died infinity miles away, so there's no helping that one, unfortunately. If somebody's like, you know, obviously you're between walls, so there's nothing we can do about that, but like, if somebody's doing stupid shit as Mercy, you've also got to be ready to like let that person die, because you're more important than them. You are a support, you're the most important member of the team, so don't be afraid to just write people off either. So I'm scared of that, Reinhardt, because I'm afraid of getting earth-shattered right now, but we are hiding behind a wall. Torbjorn's using Molten Core, which lasts for about 3 days, so we don't have to worry about... we're probably not going to have to worry about the rest of this round. It's just a hunch I have going. He almost walked into us and killed us. We're about to have Valkyrie up again. I assume we're probably just going to use it as soon as we get it, because, like... we might as well. Yeah, we might as well, right? Like, there's a few seconds left. This is probably going to be the last fight. It's the last fight. We want it to be the last fight, so we just use GA. Valkyrie. Jesus fucking Christ. Let me check the email. I don't think there was a specific question in the email. Hi, I'm one of the worst Mercy players in the world, I think. I've seen worse. Trust me. I'm stuck in silver. The moment I get to gold, I lose a few matches, and then I'm back in silver. I was wondering if you could give me tips on how to get better at Mercy. You can be harsh at me. I mean, this game isn't the best one to talk about because not a lot happened. It was one of those games that, like, we were probably going to win regardless of our input, frankly. Like, they didn't know what they were doing. So we'll talk just generically about Mercy, I suppose. So, and now I'm thinking, what do we talk generically about Mercy, about how to get better? I mean, it's like basically the pivotal thing for all supports is just like staying alive, because if you die, that means the rest of your team dies, because then they don't get healed, and then they die because they just get chipped down and die. They've got no staying power in the fight, so a lot of playing a support is just staying alive. And Mercy is better off than someone like Zenyatta because Mercy has a lot of mobility available to her in GA. GA is a very good movement ability. It's just its use is locked behind having teammates, which is sometimes very difficult to have in a game. So if there's somebody on your team who's very likely to be far away from the fight, like Soldier in this particular game, or Torbjorn as well, Widowmaker, Pharah, Orisa, if somebody is likely to be very far away from the fight, just try and keep in mind roughly where they are at all times. You don't need to know exactly where they are, but try and keep in mind where they are, because if something bad happens, you can always go to that person to get to safety, right? Because they're far away. So if you GA to them, that means you're going to be very far away as well. So just try and keep in mind where those kinds of people are, roughly, so that you can get to them if things are, or if things get bad. A lot of team fighting as Mercy is just like bouncing back and forth across the fight using GA and trying to stay as mobile as possible. So, you know, canceling GA is part of it, but also if you jump while going through GA, you actually accelerate past the target, which was originally a bug that happened at one point that was actually pretty sick if used well, so they added it back as a feature. So if you jump, you actually accelerate towards the end of it, so you can, like, whip past the person instead of dropping next to them. And so team fighting as Mercy is just kind of like flopping back and forth around the team fight. If you got a Pharah, GA up, jump, you go mad fucking far. Canceling GA is an important skill because you don't usually want to... GAing up all the way past somebody can often get you killed, so you end up canceling it more often than not. But there are also times when you do want to just keep accelerating to, like, get away from somebody chasing you or to get extra height on somebody who's in the air. If you've got, like, a Winston or a D.Va on your team, they do a lot of, like, going up in the air during a fight, so even if you don't have a Pharah, right, you can get some airtime off of them, because just hanging around in the sky as Mercy is cool, right, because it's harder for you to die. So if you see, like, a Winston or a D.Va go up in the air, GAing to that person to get some lift, and then you can hover in the sky. Even though you don't have a Pharah to actually go up there into the sky with, somebody like Winston and D.Va can get you up in the sky for at least a little while after they use their movement abilities. And it's just a lot harder to die when you're up in the air, usually, because there are some heroes that just straight up can't hit you. This is why Pharah is really good with Mercy. Once you're up in the sky, suddenly it's a lot harder to kill you, strangely enough. Don't heal people are at full health. Again, it's about being efficient with your resources as most supports, because, especially Mercy, she has no way to directly interfere with the fight. If there isn't very much happening at the time, like things are relatively neutral for a moment, don't be afraid to, like, pull out your pistol and shoot at the enemy team for a little while, because that just gets you some ult charge if not much is going on. Like, if there's nobody great around you to damage boost or anything like that, nobody needs healing, and you're just kind of, like, waiting for something to happen, just, like, shoot over at the direction of the enemy team or where the enemy team might come from, because you'll hit somebody probably a couple of times, and that gets you some extra ult charge, whereas normally in that situation you're doing nothing, because you're just waiting for something to happen. You generate a little bit of ult charge. And Mercy having Valkyrie is a lot stronger than Mercy not having Valkyrie. If you have Valkyrie, you don't need to be so afraid of trying to res people in a fight, because Valkyrie makes it a lot harder for you to die. Also, if you're resing somebody, just start, like, spinning around in like a top, and it makes you look stupid, but the reason to do that is it makes it harder to headshot you as Mercy. And sometimes that matters when you're trying to res somebody. So if you're trying to res somebody, even if you don't think it's going to matter, just, like, spin around a bit to make it harder to headshot you. Because you don't need to be looking at the person that you're resing. If somebody died in a stupid location, like you're in silver and gold, people are going to do stupid shit. Don't be afraid to write people off as being just, they're doing something stupid. I'm not going to go and heal them because I'm more important than them. Or I'm not going to go and try and res that person because they died in a stupid location and I'm more important than them. You as Mercy are, like, one of the most important members of the team, so don't be afraid to just write people off as being stupid, basically. Can I think of any other tips? If you're using Valkyrie, try to make note if there is a soldier or a McCree on the enemy team. If they do have a soldier or a McCree on the enemy team and you're using Valkyrie, operate under the assumption that they have Tac Visor or Deadeye, and position accordingly. Because usually when you have Valkyrie, conventional wisdom is just go as high as you can, because the further away you are, the harder you are to kill, basically. If they have a soldier or a McCree, you going way up into the sky makes you easier to get shot, because suddenly you have to try and get out of line of sight quickly, because they're using Deadeye or Tac Visor, which means you have to GA all the way over to somewhere, right? And you'll end up dying to something like Deadeye before you can get out of the way, usually. So if they have Soldier or McCree and you're using Valkyrie, assume they have their ultimate, and try and stay near something that you can use as cover, if you need to. You know, if there's, like, Icon VoD, you can, like, play around, like, the pillar on the first, the clock tower on the first checkpoint, something like that. Like, try and keep in mind that they're there and just assume they have their ultimate. And position so that you don't get fucked, basically. Because you want to be high, but you don't want to get killed by those ultimates, so you need to be near something. Can I think of any other Mercy tips offhand? I cannot think of any other Mercy tips offhand. This wasn't a great game to really talk about because it was just one of those games that's like, yeah, we were probably going to win regardless. So feel free to send another video of like a closer game or a longer game, and that's fine. Like, there's no fucking hard limit on how many videos you can send me. Fuck, motherfuckers have sent me fucking lists of games in an email before. Like, fucking motherfuckers sent me like 12 videos in a link in an email before. You can send as many as you want. This wasn't a great game to talk about because honestly not much happened. So feel free to send another one, a longer game, ideally, and we'll talk about that, and we'll probably find more specific things, but hopefully those, like, the generic advice is helpful, if nothing else, because not much happened in this game. The biggest thing from the game itself is, like, avoid healing people at full health, because that's just the same as you not having your beam turned on. So, thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm more than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. And I hope you found the video helpful.